to another day of Thriftmas, day 6. So I'm getting a quick dinner together. Had a full work day, I'm home from work, took a nap, took a shower. I'm absolutely exhausted, so I decided for today's Thriftmas video, I am going to sit down at my computer where I don't have to do much moving and share my top 30 sales on Poshmark and eBay from the year. So hopefully that'll be informative for you guys. It'll allow me just to chill a little, and it'll actually be good for me to see what my top brands were and top sales, because you know, you kind of forget over the year what those were, so that'll be good. So I haven't filmed since Saturday, and today is Tuesday, but on Sunday I went to the Oregon Symphony with my really good longtime friend, and we saw the Love Actually concert. The Love Actually is like one of my all-time favorite holiday movies, and the symphony had the movie playing, and then they played the score along with the movie live, which was incredible. Definitely one of the top highlights of my year. It was such a beautiful experience and something I will never forget, and I honestly felt like such a classy lady at the symphony on a Sunday afternoon. So it was amazing, and I loved every single second of it. After I make some dinner and share the sales, I do want to decorate a gingerbread cookie or two, so that is kind of something fun I'm gonna do, but I just need a really chill evening. Here are my top 30 sales on Poshmark and eBay from the year, and since the listings on eBay disappear after 90 days, the ones that I sold on eBay over 90 days ago, I'll just show you the Poshmark listing, since I keep all of them listed on Poshmark and then just hit not for sale when I sell them on eBay. So that's what it'll show up as if it's an eBay sale that was over 90 days ago. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so the first sale was this pair of Theory linen pants. They had a nice stripe down the leg. They were a wide leg, high rise, great style, and these sold on eBay for $50. This was a Goodwill Outlet bins pickup, so I spent $237 on them, sold them for $50, left me with $37.40 in profit. Theory is a brand that I do like to pick up depending on the item, the category, the style, but it's not a brand to pass on. I think it's not the most exciting, but it can do very well. All right, then I sold this pair of Spanx stretch twill shorts. This sold for $50 on Poshmark. And let's see, I sold those actually in end of May, so you know, right at summertime. I spent $6.99 on those at a regular thrift store, and then they sold for full asking price at $50. Left me with $33.01 in profit, and took just over a month. Then next is this Tom Bin side effect bag. This is actually a brand that was new to me this year, and as I was pulling these together, there were actually a lot of brands in this roundup that were new to me this year. So I think that is really exciting, and I'm honestly looking forward to new brands in 2025 that I've never heard of that might, you know, end up being some of my top sales. So this sold for $50 on Poshmark within minutes of me listing it, and I am very confident that I actually undersold this item. I wish I had done a little more research and figured out what it was worth before getting it listed. I think I listed it at $60 and accepted an offer for $50, and pretty much immediately regretted that. Even though it was still a great sale price, I do believe I could have made a much higher profit on this if I had done a tiny bit more research. But that is a lesson that I learned. Still left me with $37.37 in profit. And yeah, that was a same day flip. Next is this pair of a Goldie Riley high-rise straight cropped jeans. These sold on eBay, so I had them listed at $80, and then I ended up accepting an offer for $50. Left me with $34.10 in profit. Took 19 days. This is a brand I really like to find and sell, and it typically does sell for at least $30, sometimes up to, you know, 50, 60, 70. So in this case, sold for $50 and was a really good sale. Good style. Usually you can find a really good stock photo for a Goldie jeans, which is something I really like, especially for pants, to find a good stock photo. It definitely helps the buyer see how the item will be worn and just what it looks like on versus a top, which I think you can kind of picture a little bit more when you see it on a hanger, but for some reason pants I do think can sell a little better if you find a stock photo to use. All right, next was this pair of Icebreaker base layer pants. They were a men's large. These I sold on eBay, so I had them listed at $65 and ended up either accepting an offer or sending out an offer for $50. I can't quite remember. That left me with $39.28 in profit, and they only took 11 days to sell, so very quick flip. Icebreaker is one of my very favorite outdoor brands to find and sell, and this is a good representation as to why. Pretty quick flip and sold for 50 bucks. Next was this Coach logo filled Signature C shoulder tote bag. This sold for $55 on Poshmark, and I used to find Coach so much more often than I do now. I really probably only sold it maybe once or twice out of the whole year, but if you can find a good style bag in great condition, then it can be a very good sale. And these are just one of those like timeless kind of bags, I guess, along with Dooney & Bourke, which I do believe there is at least one Dooney & Bourke bag on here. But that sold for $55 on Poshmark, and I had it listed at $65. I'm guessing I accepted that offer for $55, and that left me with $32.01 in profit. Took about a month and a half to sell. Then I sold this Johnny Was boho floral maxi dress. This was a bins find, so here's that Johnny Was tag. This was a really good sale, sold for $55. It was a bins pickup. I remember finding that. And I had it listed at $100, accepted an offer for $55. It left me with $41.90 and took just under 2 weeks. I also remember the buyer had commented saying, it's the spots that I don't know what to do with. I made an offer based on that. And I said, okay, that's fair, I'll accept it, because there were, you know, a few flaws. These spots right here, there were just a couple flaws for sure, which I did take a lot of pictures of. And yeah, these little holes here. So $55 for that with all those flaws was still a really good sale in the end. But yeah, I did reach a little bit on that one, listing it for $100, but very reasonable still to sell it for $55. Next is this pair of Viore pants, and these sold for $55, a brand I love to sell. So this pair, let's see, I bought it at the bins for $1.72, listed it at $62, accepted that offer for $55, was left with $42.28 in profit. Took 27 days for these to sell. I do have a very similar pair of Viore pants to list that I shared in the last video that I am expecting to be right around that same sale price. Next is this Patagonia insulated fjord flannel jacket. I used outdoor as a keyword. This sold for $55 on Poshmark. And let's scroll down a little. I listed it at $85 and accepted that offer. Left me with $45 in profit, and was a really fast flip at only 3 days. So add that to the list of reasons I love to sell Patagonia. Then this next one was a Louis Farad vintage silk button front blazer jacket. This sold on eBay, and I had it listed at $62, and I accepted a more than reasonable offer of $58. That left me with $35.75 in profit and took 121 days, and I had bought that at a regular thrift store, so I paid $10 and was left with a really great profit. Definitely took a chance on that one. Did not know this brand. That was one of those things where I saw it, felt the item, felt high quality. It was silk material. I looked up the brand, found out it was vintage, you know, just did enough quick research. Then I sold this Dooney & Bourke canvas leather tote bag for $60. Dooney & Bourke is a brand that I truly love to find, and I don't find it a ton. I would say I find it more at regular thrift stores than I do at the bins, especially in great condition. So sold for $60 on Poshmark. I actually paid up a bit for that, paid $20, listed it at $75, and accepted an offer for $60. So that left me with $25.99 in profit, and took 2 weeks to sell. This next one was a really good sale. It was actually a two-piece set from Zara. It was this halter crochet top and then this pair of crochet pull-on wide leg pants. And these sold for $60 together as a set. So that was a very good sale. Sold on Poshmark, left me with $45.77 in profit, and was actually a full price sale. So someone outright bought that at $60. Took just over 2 months. anytime you can find a two-piece set, I think that's a huge win, especially if, of course, the style is good. Next is this pair of We The Free pull-on bootcut stretch jeans, and I used Penny Lane as a keyword. These sold for $60 on Poshmark. Here's that We The Free tag. And then I did actually for these put it under the Free People brand tag, I guess I should say. So that sold for $60 and was another full price sale. That is surprising. That was a bins pickup, so I spent $236 for my cost of good, and that left me with $45.64 in profit. It took 114 days, so not a fast flip, but a very good sale once it did end up selling. Next is this Columbia 90s vintage Vamoose ski jacket. This is the second time I've sold the Vamoose style vintage ski jacket. I actually come across quite a bit of Columbia vintage jackets here in Oregon, but the Vamoose in particular seems to sell very well, so that's a style I recommend being on the lookout for. And that sold on eBay for $60. I think I actually kind of undersold this one as well. It was a full price sale and I paid $20 for that, so that did end up leaving me with $26.97. Not bad profit, but I definitely paid up a bit for that. Probably should have priced that a bit higher. It sold the same day for full asking price, and it did sell to another reseller, so I'm pretty confident they saw that as an opportunity. And you know, I still made a good profit. I'm sure they made a good profit too, but you know, when it's a full price sale on the same day, especially to another reseller, that you probably underpriced it, but that is all right. Then I sold just a few days ago actually this Marine Layer fleece snap jacket, and this one just caught my attention so much at the bins that I figured it would be a good sale, even though I don't think of Marine Layer as being, you know, a brand that I'm really heavily on the lookout for, but I know it's a pretty high retail price brand, and this style was excellent. So I listed it at $68 and it sold on eBay for $60. Left me with $45.41 in profit and took 2 days. Very, very fast. Then this one is very much a style-based pickup. So it's the Porter Collective Noir Alchemy band jacket. Grunge goth were some keywords. Never had heard of this brand, but the style I knew would be a really good one. And it was, I believe, either in October. So that kind of spooky season time of year. The style really is what sold this, and then I'm sure having a few keywords that helped it be searchable definitely helped as well. But really great sale on Poshmark, $63. I did get this at a regular thrift store for $7.99, listed it at $85, and then it sold for $63. So that left me with $47.88. Took 4 days. All right, then one of my tried and true denim brands, Mother, and this was the Hiker Hover jeans. So this pair sold for $65 on Poshmark. And let's see here, that was a bins pickup. I had it listed at $150 and accepted $65. Still a very good sale. I'm not quite sure why I priced it up quite that high. That's a little higher than I typically price Mother jeans. So the comps may have been looking like around there, but $65 is still a very good sale price for a used pair of jeans. So more than happy with that. Left me with just under $50 in profit and took 1 week to sell. Then this was a new to me brand this year, and it's called Kasubi. So this was a pair of Chitch Black Wax jeans, and I did use some keywords, punk, emo, goth, to help this be seen. And this was an eBay sale. So it sold for $65 on eBay. That left me with $51.17 in profit, really good sale, and took 15 days. So I listed them at $125. Potentially could have gotten closer to that if I held out, but 2 weeks later, that's still a really reasonable price, and I was really happy with that. I do remember the buyer holding firm on their price, and so I could have just been like, nope, I'll wait for a higher sale price, but sometimes I would really rather move it out, keep things moving, and still make a really good profit. I can't complain about a $50 profit on a brand that was completely new to me. So I think sometimes you just gotta work with the buyer. If someone's really willing to buy it but they have kind of like a cap, I don't know that it's always the best to say, like, screw you, I'll just wait for someone else. I really do think a lot of times it's just good to accept some of those offers as long as they're still reasonable and you're still making a good profit, and just keep things moving along. If you have a different opinion about that than me, I would really love to hear that in the comments. I know some people hold really firm to their asking price. I'm just not necessarily someone who does that, but if you are, I would really love to hear your take on that. Okay, next is this Tory Burch striped floral underwired one-piece swimsuit. This was a used swimsuit that sold for $68, so style and brand can go such a long way. There's that Tory Burch brand tag, sold for $68 on Poshmark. That was a bins find, a great bins find. So I paid just under $2, sold it for $68, was left with $52.48 in profit, and that took 16 days to sell. Super great, awesome, phenomenal flip. Then another new to me brand, and this is called MC Wallace. It's the Haley nylon shoulder bag, and this is the brand name right there, the brand tag. So this sold for $69, and I had seen this in the Goodwill Outlet bins when I was there, and I just decided to look into it. It felt pretty high quality, looked like a good style, was in good condition, and it ended up being a very good sale at just under $70. So that left me with $53.36, took 72 days. So not a fast flip, but definitely a high profit one and a high sale price once it did end up selling. Let me know if you have heard of this brand before. I believe it's sold at Nordstrom and other high-end retailers, but I had never heard about it until this year. Then another Theory item, and actually pulling together these items, you know, when I was getting ready to film this, I noticed that there were 2 Theory items on my top 30 sales from the year. So that was actually pretty surprising, and it's reminding me that Theory can sell well. Now, I remember this taking a very long time to sell, but once it sold, it was a good sale price. So if you don't mind waiting a while for items to sell, Theory can be a good brand, but by no means was this one a fast flip. Let's see, 473 days. So I waited well over a year for that one to sell. Sold for $70 full asking price in the end, and left me with $54.34 in profit. All right, then another new to me brand, quite a few new to me brands on this list, was Avanti Hawaiian shirt, and this sold on eBay. I had it listed at $100, and then I had accepted an offer for $70. Great sale. Paid $1.49 at the bins. Left me with $52.43 in profit. Took 1 day to sell, so seriously be on the lookout for this brand. The buyer had some questions, and I provided, you know, some extra measurements or answered a couple questions, but it was a very smooth sale, really reasonable offer, and it even had a couple little, you know, stains and flaws, and it still sold for $70. So that is a brand I would recommend being on the lookout for. And I don't know if all their shirts are silk like that, but in particular this Hawaiian silk shirt did quite well. Next was this Marc Jacobs, the canvas small tote bag. This one sold very well on Poshmark for $90, and I had it listed at $100 and accepted a very reasonable offer. Was left with $69.37, took 3 days to sell. Super great sale. Let me know if you come across Marc Jacobs or if you've ever sold it. I don't come across it a lot, but it's on this list twice, so I do sometimes come across it, and it can do very well. So please let me know if you find Marc Jacobs bags ever and how they've done for you. All right, just a handful more to go here. So this is a Patagonia Retro X Deep Pile Fleece Jacket. This sold for $90 on Poshmark. And I think I had it listed at 100, was left with $78.23, took 1 day to sell. Another new to me brand, this one is Barber. So my boyfriend actually taught me this brand. He definitely taught me a few of these brands, or came across them and let me know, hey, that's something good you should pick up. This is a men's quilted jacket. This was an excellent sale. It took not that long at all. It was a very quick flip. Sold for $93 on Poshmark. Left me with $72.53. Yeah, it took 2 days to sell. Let me know if you've ever come across this brand before. Great brand to be on the lookout for. I'll be on the lookout for it. I don't know how I had never heard of this brand before, but it is a very good one to be on the lookout for, clearly. Okay, then another Marc Jacobs bag. This is a vintage leather shoulder bag. Sold for $99 on Poshmark. Excellent sale. Was listed at $165, and then I did accept that $99 offer. Super great sale. I got it at the bins, but it was a little heavier, so I averaged out the cost of good to $569, and my profit was $73.51. It did take a bit to sell, wasn't fast. It took 262 days, but a great sale in the end. Really good profit there. And I really like coming across Marc Jacobs. They come in so many different styles, and I think honestly most of them do well as long as it's in good condition. So really, really happy with that. Alright, then I sold this Love Shack Fancy and Revolve Boho Pastel dress. This one did take a bit to sell. I was left with $78.08 in profit. It took 116 days, so it wasn't sitting forever, but not a fast flip. Did take a bit for, you know, someone to come along and buy it eventually, but it did get a lot of attention on Poshmark, and, you know, in the end, left me with an excellent profit. Next was this pair of frame leather loafers, and these sold on Poshmark for $100. Really excellent condition at Goodwill. I bought these at a regular Goodwill. And they did have, yeah, like these X's at the bottom, so I made sure to show that, but they looked unworn. I mean, the bottoms looked completely flawless. I had paid $19.99 for those. Listed them at $195 and then accepted an offer for $100. That left me with $60.01 in profit and took 173 days for those to sell. Alright, then I sold this Louis Vuitton silk scarf for $100 on Poshmark. So this one was a really good sale, and I was given this item to sell. So it was a $0 cost of good and sold for $100. That left me with $80 even in profit after $20 that Poshmark took, and it only took 4 days for that to sell, so super excellent sale. Alright, and then my highest priced sale from the year was this Descente vintage 90s men's ski suit, and this sold for $140 on eBay at the beginning of the year. So that left me with $110.64 in profit and took 1 day to sell. So my highest priced sale of the year was also one of my fastest flips, taking only a day. So super great sale there. It was interesting to see that this was my highest price sale. I'm very happy with it, and I know that's a really good sale price, especially finding this at the bins. But I am gonna set my sights a little higher next year and try to even pay up a tiny bit for some items that I know will sell for a lot, and really see if I can get some higher price sales and find some items that are worth a good amount, and just be a little bit more confident in picking up items for a little higher price that I know will sell really well. So that is a goal I have for the upcoming year. I love my bins finds and finding things, and a lot of times you do find really good stuff at the bins that can sell for a good amount, but I think I do want to be a little bit more intentional and try to find some stuff that I know will be a really fast flip and sell for a high price, even if I am paying up just a tiny bit. So that's something I really want to strive for in the new year. Please let me know down in the comments what your highest price sale from the year was, or what your best sale was, however you qualify or classify your best sale. And please let me know, I'd be super curious to hear. But I hope you guys did enjoy this more casual sit down Thriftmas video. I know I needed it, and hopefully you guys found it helpful. But I'm gonna go decorate a cookie or two pretty soon here, and then I think do what Nellie's doing and just lounge on the couch and do as little as possible. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.